Right now, it's one of my favorite times of year. It's the middle of March, and winter is slowly giving way to spring, and it even seems like spring is coming a little early this year. And it's amazing to me that even though all of the animals in my reptile room live in glass boxes inside of my home, they can sense that spring is right around the corner nonetheless. My ball python Jerry, who's been on his winter hunger strike, has finally gone back to eating. And recently I've noticed that all of the frogs have been extremely vocal. This is one of the things that Jeannie and I love most about the frogs. It always makes us smile and laugh whenever we hear their croaking and chirping. You may have seen in a video last year that one of my 4 American green tree frogs had died. His name was Bobby, and it was particularly sad for us because we thought he was the only male of the group. And since I hadn't heard any of the other 3 make any sounds, I just assumed that they were all females. But recently, one of them has started calling, and calling a lot. My guess is that he actually was a male, but only recently became sexually mature. And Jeannie and I have been really happy to hear that old familiar sound again. This got me curious to see if I played recordings of frog calls, would my frogs answer back to them? So let's find out. My pair of Tintorious dart frogs are both females, so I never hear a sound from them. And while Leucomelis dart frogs have a beautiful call, mine is still too young. I don't even know yet if Sunshine is a male or a female. And this definitely didn't work for the tiger-leg monkey tree frogs. They are very nocturnal and extremely shy. If I come in the room in the middle of the night to see if they're out, their first defense mechanism is to freeze completely still like a statue. So I started off this experiment with my tomato frog. But all I got from Scarlet was that same old grumpy look that I love so much. Well, maybe this will work on my bullfrog. And again, I got nothing. I think Lucille might be too smart to be fooled by this. But I was able to catch this on video. I film the animals in the reptile room a lot. Sometimes I turn the camera on and leave the room and just let it roll for a while. And sometimes I just happen to catch some random moments that I ordinarily wouldn't see. I think there's probably a lot that happens when I'm not in here to see it. Anyway, I put the camera on my golden blue-leg baboon tarantula, trying to get a shot of her coming out of her hole and sitting at the entrance to her web, which is where she spends a lot of time. It doesn't take too much to spook Jewel and send her fleeing back into her web, and Lucille's paludarium is right next to her. And it was funny to see Jewel fly back into her web when Lucille's croaking startled her. You can definitely see how fast an old world tarantula can move when it wants to. But this little experiment wasn't a total fail. Just watch what happens when I play a recording of a green tree frog calling. One of the things I love the most about snakes is being able to handle and interact with them and the bond that you can form with them. And that's just something you can't do with a frog. To me, that is a downside of keeping frogs as pets. It's not safe for them to be handled, and my experience is that frogs cannot be tamed and socialized like some lizards and snakes can. But hearing their calls at any random time in the reptile room is so much fun, and it makes up for all of that. Plus, when they ramp up the frequency of their calls, it's just a happy reminder that spring is right around the corner. So that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed all of the frogs, and I'll see you in the next video.